This episode is a deep look at building companies with purpose across the US, Mexico, and LATAM. Ivan shares how his journey from music to tech shaped the way he builds today. Tell me about how you got started in business in the first place.
As for me, when I started around the entrepreneurial ecosystem, it was because of my family. My father started a business, a water business, long ago, and all my family members also have like different type of businesses. So my only choice was to make my business around it. And I started working with my father, then I started working with my older brother, Romeo. And well, I started like learning a lot about them and started to see that, well, the only chance to be like a free guy, or I don't know how to say it, definitely you got to go this way, the businessman way.
Totally. That's really cool. So you grew up around entrepreneurs.
Yeah, especially my father, my brother, my two brothers. They have like a whole company together. I'm the only guy that went just around other type of businesses. And cousins, my grandparents also, they all like work for a company and then they build it up their own company for themselves. And of different type of businesses. Some were like around the healthcare area, industrial, commercial, and different type of sectors. And well, yeah, that was my unique choice to do it.
Yeah. What do you think you learn growing up in a family of entrepreneurs that might be unique to that? You know, because a lot of people grow up without entrepreneurial family and they become entrepreneurs, which is unique to them. So, what are some of the values and some of those like things that you learn growing up in an entrepreneurial household?
Yeah, well, definitely my biggest hero in this will be like my father and my brother. I saw that when they treated like their employees and their collaborators, there was like a special treat to them, and they were building up culture and around with my values that my father and my brothers or the whole family have. We definitely were like, okay, we have to good people around, like honest people and good communicating people, transparent, and I saw that like as also an opportunity to make my shine of my or be a better person that I'm used to be right now, working out right now.
Becoming.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, the values were like the most important thing around being a businessman, to have a good reputation, so people can like know that you're a good person, and that's all about businessman, like a sales, marketing, and all around the ecosystem, entrepreneurial system. You have to build up your values really good so you can build up your business around it. Definitely.
What do you, when you're growing up with those values, like take me back before you started your first business and you were instilled these values as you grew up, right? Like even going through school and how you treated people, what tangibly was different than the person that, didn't grow up in an entrepreneurial family?
Okay. Yeah, well, definitely some of my friends were used to like, when we went on high school, then bachelor, any type of bachelor, I saw different type of friends that were used to like work to another company because their parents or their relatives do. And what I saw about that is that probably they don't have like a specific purpose around it, and they have to develop it more than the entrepreneurial or the entrepreneurs that we have like really on the focus or on the line. And I saw my friends like gathering their own purpose around the company values more than them creating and self knowing that they have these values and they have to build them around that, around their company. So definitely it's like both sides, both are good. They definitely are really respectable both, but I really like to ask myself, like, if is this the good path? Do I want to really work with someone to someone for their specific dream, or should I like bring on my dream and my purpose? So I definitely went on the other side.
Awesome. Yeah. Have you ever worked for somebody else, or have you always been your own entrepreneur?
Yeah. I work only on my trainee, I think it's called. When I went to Mexico City, I studied music production, and they offered me like a good trainee in Mexico City as a music. It was a music engineering guy, and I learned a lot. I had one good boss, Americ Castellain, and I learned a lot about him and about the live events around the music industry. And it was really cool, but definitely, like, I saw the values that they had, like their purpose was, and it probably didn't much matter what I was looking for. So it was nothing personal. Like, I decided to go my own way. So I came back to Monterrey, and after Mexico City, it was 2017, and probably like 8 years ago, more or less. And then I went to Monterrey, and I started my first business around live events, promotion of new artists.
Sweet. We're going to get into all your business, but I'm curious, when you... a common theme that we discuss on this podcast is that, like, entrepreneurs don't necessarily make the best employees because we have our own ways of doing things, that sort of thing.
Definitely.
Do you agree with that statement?
Well, as for me, I was really like, I remember, like, it was the work I had, it was from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., like all the way through the day. And I had to get on the metro or the subway, like, for several stations. Then I have to had a bus in order to get, like, really sharp on my duties. And I never failed. Like, I never failed. Definitely, I never had, like, I hate, like, being late, definitely. And I never had an excuse like, hey, I'm sorry, like, I'm not going, I'm on vacation, or I'm sick, or something like that, because I thought that that was my duty. So there were other employees that they were, like, really lazy and all that, and that's okay. But as for me, I think I was a good employee since they started my promoting inside, and I have, like, several. I had, like, a fixed salary and a plus, like, add-ons, or so in order to do some other duties. So I think I did a good job, and also the boss, like the general manager, told me, like, hey, you're doing great, and that's it. So that was my unique experience as that, and it was really different right now as a businessman. But yeah, I think I was, if I can reflect on that, I was a good employee.
Awesome.
I think. I think so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think, like, going through an experience of working for somebody, what can you take away from that translates well into being your own boss and being an entrepreneur and founder?
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely, depending or following the dream or the objective of someone else, you have to bring, like, really easy going your opinion, because it could be, like, really not that good, since it was just the general manager, and then it was just, like, the general areas like accountability and all that, administration. We had, like, directly, like, a good communication with the general manager, and we were just, like, if we can say it, pawns, or probably we were just working on specific duties. But we couldn't bring, like, that much ideas because it was all settled down. So that was on my unique experience. And on the business area, well, you can just, like, throw it on the trash can, that idea, and you can hear everyone out, and you're very versatile or dynamic on the way you try to bring the things together and work out that specific objective. And I think there was more freedom on this side, on the creativity, or on the way you bring ideas on the table. that was for me. And I think that has worked for me this way. Probably like I know like many friends that they have like a 5-year contract with a company, and they aren't like really heard on their ideas. Definitely, they're just like a duty making guy, and that's it. No, so yeah, I think ideas have to be heard, and it's a really more dynamic way to build up on companies. Definitely.
Awesome. So when you were working this job in Mexico City, did you know that there was going to be an expiry date? Did you know you knew eventually you were going to start something and you were going to leave?
Yeah, definitely. I never saw myself as working to someone, and definitely when I worked there, I didn't knew that I was gonna end up with a live promoting event agency, but I was gathering around like more information about the industry, because I didn't know that much, like what do artists produce, how events run, how live events run, and how artists gain their capital, or how they make their promotion. I didn't know anything of that. So it was just like a good journey to just go on and learn. That's it. So yeah, definitely I saw like an expiry date of that, but trying to learn a lot to see what was going on later on. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you leave your job in Mexico City, you come back to Monterrey in 2017, and you start a business. What is the first business and why?
On that business, it was just my name at first, Ivan Garza, just as a promoter agent, probably booking agent, promoter booking agent for Latin American musicians, emerging artists specifically, and well, I came for of this idea because we were like traveling around Mexico, and especially here in Monterrey, there's an area called Barrio Antiguo that they normally do like gigs and all that, but there was like no scene at all, like definitely like nothing at all. And I'm always like really keen to music. I always like music. So I was like looking, where's the new artists? Like where are the new artists that we don't have anyone that is promoting them? And big companies were just promoting big artists. So I had like a few friends that had like some gigs in small bars and all that. And we decided like, hey, probably there's a good area here. And there was a guy that I knew back then that he had a bar. So we tried on his bar, like, hey, we can just like invite people to this bar and probably see if people like new music or these artists. So there we decided to, me and my associates, Andrea and Ramiro, decided to build up Decibel 110. It's like 110 decibels, but the other way around. Because of the threshold of music events. Normally they're like 110 decibels. So we decided to build up that agency, and then quickly we started like to have a lot of fans of the artists that liked that idea. That was like I think the most important one. And the artists that didn't have anyone at all that they needed to lean on for their career.
Right.
So we decided to make Decibel, and that was from 2017, 18 probably, from till the pandemic, 2020.
Why do you think that people weren't, these smaller artists weren't being represented? Because obviously there's plenty of them, there's plenty of people making music, there's obviously venues as you described, but nobody to represent them. Why?
Well, yeah, probably because the music industry, every industry is run by interests, definitely. Like, if we can say it really transparent, they care about the big artists, where the money is, where they have like huge events, like I don't know, thousands of people around them, good merchandise, good marketing, good commercial. But if they control the majority, which is the emerging artists, they can co-create new artists later on, and that they can build up on the music industry. So on those days, not Universal Music, Sony Music, Warner Music, didn't had like much action around that. and they started to see like us and other agencies around Mexico, especially. And we help Latin American musics inside Mexico, because Mexico is the best platform for generally I think in globally, especially for Latin American musicians, sorry. And so we saw that opportunity, but they didn't saw that opportunity that there was a longer term for the greater benefit.
Building the artists up to be those major players.
Exactly.
I see. So that's what you did. So was it successful from 2017 until 2020?
We worked with more than 150 artists, Latin American artists, emerging artists, and I think the best year that we had, it was 2019. We made like 50 events, more or less, around Mexico. It was like 8 cities, and well, artists, like, I don't know, if they have like an income of, I don't know, 20,000 pesos, with us they had like 80,000, 100,000, and musicians were paid better and all that. And we were like really flexible on our contracts, that if they want to go, they go. That's it. I think that was our mistake, but because they went with the biggest music agencies. So we work with many artists, pop, specifically pop, rock, and alternative pop and all that, Latin American music. And we had a really, really, really good opinion of everybody, especially the fans. They were like waiting for us like to have a new event or the new artist coming up. Yeah, so it was really good.
You said your biggest mistake was having flexible contracts. I feel like it's a double-edged sword, right? Because you want to have great customer experience for your artists, but you also need to protect what you're building as well. So walk me through why that was your biggest mistake.
Yeah, well, like we think music industry is probably, I will be very transparent about this, but music industry is like really archaic. It is run like it was 100 years ago. Like artists are mine, like they have like huge contracts around them. If you want to go, well, you have to pay me like the $1 million business that we just invested. So we were like going as an alternative, a good alternative for artists, to make a good budgeting with them and help them with the right ideas, with the right resources. And definitely we on those terms, it was a contract. Like it has to be flexible. When they finish with us, like they finish all their compromises and all that, they can go. They can go and they can go their own way. And if they want to be independent, or they want to go build up an agency, or if they want to go to another agency or label, sorry, they can just like go on. So that was really flexible, and we had many artists, good artists, Latin American, that we didn't have the capital to like invest them a lot. So big labels were like, hey, we're gonna give you money and we're gonna give you all these resources. So we were like, oh, we don't have anything to do. You just can go on with them. Just be careful on these contracts. And they did it anyway, and it was not the best idea for them, but they took it. And it was the only way out, if you want to see it. But the long-term, like, good relationship that we made, it was the better idea, because they own more on the rights, more on their mastering rights, publishing and all that. And so we were like building up a new label with new terms. And artists were like, okay, it's good, but now I don't need you, and we're going to go this side. So it was like, we were like helping them out, but in a certain circumstance, they were like just...
Yeah, like once they hit a certain threshold and they were offered something else, then...
Exactly. Especially capital, money and the resource that we didn't have, definitely.
Okay, and then 2020 hits, COVID.
Yeah, and then 2020 hits, and nobody didn't know about that. And we were like making a lot of investing around like gigs around Mexico, bigger gigs. Like, I don't know if we had gigs around 300 to 500 Now we had like probably 1,000, and we're gonna keep on and being bigger than other agencies. And well, the pandemic hit it, and everything closes. Artists also, their only resource like of their earnings, monthly earnings. Well, it wasn't Spotify; it was the gigs. Definitely, it wasn't any other DSP, that it was Deezer or Napster and all that. It was their special events that they keep on going, investing on their new album and all new songs and all that. So we started like making a turnover of our company, and we decided to exploit. Well, it's not a good word, but take advantage of what artists could make on their promoting publishing side of their songs. So we decided like to make a consultancy agency to keep on going, and we help them out like, okay, this is your single, probably this is not good, probably this album is better to promote. And we had like several artists that we were helping out, and we made like a live concert around it was the same, around 150 artists, like the live events that we had, and we charge on those live events. So it was like a turnover around what we were doing, but it wasn't sustainable enough. Like it wasn't that good as the way we were going. So we decided we had a good money around that we invested in. We decided just like to close doors, close compromises, and return the capital that we had. And we did like 90% more or less on the total of the associates. And well, we were good that way. And we also, with the fund, we had a compromise that new events were coming up. So we like did until 2021 and 2022 the last concerts, just like to close that, and we were like really good to go. So it was really difficult. Yeah, it was just like we were building up, and then throw to the trash can. Yeah, definitely. So it was really difficult.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's really difficult, and especially like the timing. Like you don't have time to react. That's the way. Like you have to do it like quick. And well, of course, we learned a lot, and it was part of the experience, the journey.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you carry those learnings into your next endeavor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, then definitely. And it's good to react fast in this type of situation. Yeah. I hope we don't have another one, but yeah, who knows?
In order to not dig a deeper hole, right? You
Exactly.
have to react and change it up and pivot.
Yeah, and take it positively. That the change is positive, and you have to keep on moving. That's it.
So what was next?
After that, well, NOTAM, my marketing agency, we had, after being a marketing agency, we have a sound branding agency, like, like jewelries and commercial areas, or any type of retail store that they need music according to their concept. So we're building, NOTAM was originally, because founded by my associate, Carlos. He built it up, NOTAM, and he invited me on 2019, just before the COVID. And I was helping him on the sales area, and he was on the operation area. And we started like selling a lot to jewelries and retail stores, like building up their concept music around like, around what the customers needed
To hear in the store.
To hear in the store,
I
yeah.
see.
So definitely, like it was a good idea, and there were several good competitors, and we learned a lot. And then we started like on 2020 to probably think of the idea to build up our own software company that it's just like a SaaS that you just plug in for several retailers, and they just can go through the music they want, and even play like different type of advertising spots. And then COVID hit, and then we decided like, okay, no, this is not the way. Like we have closed stores, retail, everything is closed, so nobody cares about the music that is going on in the stores. Everybody was going e-commerce.
And so, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, but you weren't licensing the music to them. You were simply like compiling playlists and that sort of thing that fit the demographic of the store shoppers.
Correct. Yeah, we use mainly like Spotify or something like that. Yeah, it was just like a curated music tailoring probably around the concept of that specific store, and it was like 35 hours for each store. And they like it a lot, but it wasn't a priority for them. Like it was, like when you have a crisis, they shut down.
First expense to cut.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it wasn't a priority. So we decided, like, where's the money? Like, where's the money? Notam is it's based on Latin wording that it means branding in Latin. So we were like talking about like, well, okay, everybody's going e-commerce. But what do they need to bring on the e-commerce? Like, what do they do? So there were a lot of agencies that were created, marketing agencies, around when the e-commerce boomed here. It was really, really, really new here in Mexico. Many of the retailers or stores even didn't have a clue like they could sell on a specific online point. So we were like telling, okay, the money moves around. In a crisis, you don't have like something that just vanished and that's it. No, you just have to be careful where's the money and where's the necessity or the problem. And if you have the solution, you are good to go on that. So we decided to make a marketing agency that same year, that same July, June probably, or July, I think, it was of the 2020. And we started like grabbing different type of small businesses that we already had as a sound branding or agency. And there we were good to go. And then we started building around that.
Cool. So, and I know you have a couple other things coming up, which we'll get to as well, but I'm curious as we're chatting through all these different business ideas, like what excites you about, you know what I mean? Like there's always a silver lining for an entrepreneur, something that excites them. What gets you out of bed? Why do you like solving these problems?
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely, I really don't know. My mother and my father, even my wife, tells me like how do you get like I don't know if it's good to say this, but like the hunger, like or the necessity like to keep on going. I really don't know, but I like to solve things a lot, to fix things and solve good problems, help people out definitely a lot. Everything like goodwill, like just naturally. So probably that's it. And since I was a little kid, also I wanted like to shine, or I don't know, like to help out and be authentic on what I'm doing. And I think that's what's kept me going, to keep on chasing that.
Keep pushing forward. Yeah. Okay. And now, so you're still operating your marketing agency.
Yeah.
But you also have like a studio. Explain, like it's like kind of like an accelerator, or what does it look like?
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Brand studio, right? That's what you call it.
It's a venture studio, a startup studio, company builder. It has different type of names. It depends on the objective or the resources that you can bring on. That idea comes because I'm a really dynamic person. Like I cannot be on a certain project. Like my mind, it goes like nuts when I'm just like working that, because I like to be like on a separate project and I'm learning from this project, and then I can manage these resources and I learn from each other, from each type of business. So as for the marketing agency, both of me and my associate were like are really tired of the different type of problems that we have with the customers. Not about them, but because about their problem that we are trying to achieve with them. So that comes to me, like I started like building up an ecosystem, a networking, around the tech areas, funds and all that, startups and all that. I have really good friends. And I saw that the venture capital weren't in Mexico, at least in Latin America, weren't having like a good impact or returns for their investors. So I was like looking, okay, I want to be like an investor. I have several investments on my personal area. And I was looking like, okay, where's the problem? Is it on the startup side? Is it on the fund side? Or the players that are around the entrepreneurial ecosystem? So I started like looking around, like how can I have like a holding company with my companies, and I can co-create new companies inside. And an angel investor from Mexico City told me like, probably you're looking for a company builder. That's the name. It's not a holding company. And I was like, what is that? So it was that probably 2022, 23, more or less. I started looking and learning about the new areas about the company builder or the venture studio. And I saw it was like the best structure that we can build up to help out startups and make their achievements better, or the most successful startups. So I started like to make some analysis on that, and well, it was like a really bad situation for me, like because we had the marketing agency, and it was the crisis still, and we want to build new companies. So how can we juggle that? Like, well, you have one, but you want to build more. Like it isn't enough just like to make one and achieve that and make them successful. So I was like looking, how can I manage that around that startup studio? So I started talking with many angels and many funds and all that, and I started to learn around how can I build up the startup studio. I had to have money and resources, definitely, but also about that, my experience, my validation to make them shine for them. So I'm working on that, and we decided to make a software agency around that, so we can be bootstrap. That is called Mimic Agency, and that's right now how we are bootstrap. Like we decided, okay, we're not gonna have a fundraising about this startup studio because we are not ready yet, and we can just build the team and make a software agency around that. So we are on that way, still looking for the way to build the good structure that we need.
Cool.
For the startup studio.
Awesome. So I love the idea, by the way. It's kind of like an incubator, right? It's like,
yeah.
And so walk me through how that works. Like if I just interject at any point, but if I start a company and I obviously need help and resources and maybe funding, whatever the case, I come to you, and then what happens?
Yeah, well, it works similar like as an accelerator, a venture capital fund, and an incubator. The difference is that the venture studio brings the resources. That includes capital, that includes the team, the tools, any tool that you like, I mean software tools, and the ideas with the co-founders. For example, the accelerator, it's different that you have the idea, you start to pitch the idea, and then you have like several filters to go on the accelerator, and when you go through those filters, you can make like a demo day, definitely just like a YC or any type of big accelerator, and then they decide to invest with you, and probably that could be like $100,000 or probably millions. It depends on the round. And the incubator, someone brings on the ideas, but you are like a fee service company. You have to like, okay, you want an office, you want marketing, you want technology. It'll be like, I don't know, $2,000 per month. So you decide, okay, I can go through that, and they will help me, guide me through these areas, and I will just keep on working on my startup. On the startup studio, we have the ideas, we bring on the co-founders, and we set them on each startup, and we bring the capital and the resources. So it's like a mix. We are like a venture capitalist fund, accelerator, and incubator, but it de-risks I think that's the word.
De-risk it?
It's a de-risking vehicle for investors to bring on the venture studio.
I see. Yeah. I see. Okay, so you have these resources or access to the resources, and you share these with the co-founders and also maintain equity.
Yeah. We split the equity 70-30. 70 the founders, 30 the studio. But we start first at the 100% of our own ideas. We don't co-create. In our case, we don't co-create the idea with the founder. We have the problem and we make the solution out of it on our specific focus of our venture studio. And then when we have a validation of that product, we launch it, and we're on that right now. We launch it, we have a product market fit. Well, it's not like complete product market fit. We make a validation about it, and then we decided to insert 2 co-founders to give them 70% of the equity. Then they make a spin-off and they can go their own way.
So you develop the idea, validate the idea, test the idea, and if it's valid, then you give the idea to somebody along with 70%, and you maintain 30 and give them resources.
Correct, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's also a pretty flexible idea. We like to be more human around more than, well, every player has their own specific needs, like an accelerator, an incubator. We're not trying to compete with that. But we think we have a more human way to do the things and make a better vehicle. So we have seen very good metrics around the venture studios, specifically around Europe, Asia, and United States. And they really, really compete with especially with the venture capitalists. That there are different players, but we have seen that it's better for the founders, better for the investors to lean on an idea with us.
Yeah.
Because we're not making one idea. Probably out of the 4 that we're gonna make in a year, probably the 4 will fail. We're gonna keep on going on the next year with 4, probably 6, and so on. And probably with just 1, we can just like make a good return out of it. And of course, we would like to have better metrics than other venture capitalists and venture studios, but it's part of the learning that we have right now. Especially in Latin America, we are really few venture studios. Probably like last year we were like 3. Right now we're like 10, and including us, and they're really, really small.
Do you know how much? So let's say you experiment with a certain vertical, right? Whatever. I'm trying to think of an example so we could talk through it. Like a water company, for example. Obviously not your father's, but let's say you start a water company. Do you know how much it costs you from like testing day 1 to like I'm giving the idea to a founder?
Yeah. We have like a ticket, if you can say that, and a specific metrics that every startup that we launch has to accomplish those goals specifically. And we have a playbook. That's the most interesting part that we're building up. The investors like to see how we're gonna do it. Who are you to build it, and how are we gonna do it? So that's why we decided like to bootstrap first. Like we don't know how to do it, sorry. Like I have my own entrepreneurial experience, but probably this is not enough. So right now, like we have like 6 months, probably this year, like this whole year, like working out with many ideas. Like we build it up 10 ideas. Right now we're gonna launch 2 out of them. We already discarded and the rest.
Wow.
And we're building this playbook, like specific playbook, so we can de-risk the vehicle, and the startup can follow that playbook. And if we have a specific metric, we just can go back, erase it, change it, or keep on going.
So definitely. It's a test facility, really. Yeah. It's like that's the first step, right?
It's like a factory.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like a specific methodology, and every venture studio has their own playbook.
Yeah. Cool.
That's the good thing.
So that's your proprietary playbook, I see.
Yeah.
I assume that the resources required to be able to test this to its full capacity, right, to the extent that you need to determine if it's going to be successful or not, it requires a lot of good relationships with, other vendors or VCs or whatever the case. How do you go about building those relationships to ensure that you can provide all the resources that somebody might need in order to be successful?
Yeah, well, regarding the resources, like we need investors, we need advisors also that will help us build this new playbook or advise us on this playbook that we're building. We also need operators, like specific on innovation, idea innovation or concept development. We need resources around the team that we have, specifically growth and technology. So we have to bring on these resources or the talent with good reputation around it. Like I want to work with you, Ivan, because you have a good team, you have like a good goal on it, you are good people, good values. That's why we call it a better world. And we think we are good people, and that's it. And so it's not easy to bring all the resources together, but that's our job, like to bring talent, any type of tool, investors, advisors, and our own expertise to bring our own, like on this journey with each startup that we're having right now. So we think we can do it, specifically because we have good relationships with these type of players, we can say it. And there's a good response also with the founders and investors, both sides. Like, oh, that's a good type of idea that you're building. We like your ideas. We like your values. We like your playbook. And definitely we like the vision that you have of this startup studio. So yeah, we're on that way, and we really are trying our best to bring on these resources.
One of the commonalities among some of the conversations we've been having so far this week in Monterrey is the complexity of fundraising here. You know, you could argue many different reasons for that, but why do you think it's so hard to raise capital here?
Yeah, probably because the metrics are not the best, probably, of their expectation of the investors. I mean, like foreign investors or Mexican or Latin American investors or players around this ecosystem. I think we are playing not our own game. Like probably we're seeing USA. They are the biggest, of course, around this entrepreneurial ecosystem, and we want to build around their ideas, or not their ideas, but their system. And it doesn't work like this in here. So we have to make like our own system here, and for our better returns, better companies, better solutions, better founders, we have to make our own authenticity, like around it, authentic personality around that. So as for the investors on the fundraising part, I think the metrics are not that good, and they prefer like just to go to anywhere else, like Asia. I don't know, even Chile. Probably it's bigger. Brazil, it's bigger than Mexico on these areas. Mexico is getting on that way, but we couldn't have that like on a specific fix already. Like we're on that. So founders need to work on that. Better founders with better values, with better solutions. I think the solutions that we have here are really, really specific. Like, I don't know, really local solutions. And I think we have to be working out like global solutions. For example, all of our solutions are globally. We are not thinking like just for Mexico or just for Latin America. So the vision also needs to work. We need to work that on the founder side. On the investor side, I think they need to help more, not just like give money to the founders. They need to make a more skin on the game feel. And as for the startups, well, definitely they need more traction. Like for example, around pre-seed to seed startups are around like probably from 300 to 500K a year. Right? If you go to United States, it's double or triple that. Mm-hmm. So it's a way more smaller market than United States or Asia or any other type of market. So yeah, I think we are, and we need to find our way. That's the thing. We have the resources, but we don't have the metrics yet to make it that way.
So when somebody's starting a business here, in your opinion, in order to, you know the saying, a rising tide rises all ships, or rises all boats. I'm butchering it, whatever. You get it. In order to do that here in Mexico, in the founder economy, in the entrepreneurial circles, what do you think founders need to keep top of mind to raise the tide for everybody?
what do founders need to have in mind, top of mind, in order to everyone to be on the rise? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably. I think the bigger vision. I think I will remark that, like they need to have a good vision, and everybody will follow that. Like, okay, if they did it, like they have a global vision around it, they have a good solution. It's not just for the local area. Probably everybody will follow that. Okay, that's probably the way. But if we are seeing like specific problems, since for example, we have really archaic industries here, non-automatic or non-automated, sorry, different type of industries. Well, everybody's like leaning on for that. So we're just like a flock of sheep, like going out without a focus or a vision. Probably, I think we change the vision, everybody will change that. And yeah, we were a small ecosystem. We need more people like from Europe, from Asia, from United States, other countries more developed than us, to bring like more new specific type of resources or knowledge around that, so we can try to change and be assured that we are going the good way. Yeah, definitely.
A common thread through our conversation tonight has been like having a clear vision and a purpose in what you do, which aligns with something I read on your website, which is the reason for being. I'm not going to try the Japanese word for that because I'll butcher it, but you can.
Okay.
Explain to me what that concept is and what it means to you.
Yeah, that's the way we started the Better World Ventures, is the startup studio, because I was looking for my ikigai. It's a concept, a Japanese concept, that it's what are you better on, what you can live on, like monetary, and what the people most need about you, and what you love. So it's like that's the concept around that. So I was looking, okay, what I'm good for. I'm good bringing resources. I'm a facilitator. I see myself as that. I am a creative guy and a facilitator around whatever we are talking about. What I love about helping people or fixing solutions, all around that. What the people needs, well, better human beings, better solutions, good solutions, not just for the money, like that go with the society, with the culture, with even the environment that we're trying to lean on. And what can I live on with? So this startup studio, it's the model around that. So that's why I decided, like probably 2 years ago or 3 years ago, that what's my ikigai. I didn't have that really set on my mind. So I started like looking for it, and that was the answer. Yeah, I hope so.
Do you feel there's this concept that entrepreneurs go through multiple different businesses or ventures before they find the right one that they're going to dive into, right? I'm curious for you, do you feel a new sort of conviction with the startup studio that you haven't felt in previous ventures?
Yeah, definitely. It's the biggest type of issue that we're going right now is that we are juggling like different type of ideas and bringing them live. And I haven't experienced that before. I know that when I started the CL, probably I wasn't ending on that business specifically. I think we all need like different type of chance opportunities around the businesses that we are building up. Probably we have an idea, but that idea, that specific business takes us to another level, and we started like on another type of industry that I didn't even know when I started on the music area industry. Music industry. So I know every type of businesses are a new experience for me, definitely. Also, I can see that the startup studio, it's a really challenge that we are having, and every type of issue that we had on other businesses, it's a new learning for this. Like we take a new way out of our experience, but it's not the complete experience. We're still doing that. It's never complete, I think. Perfection, at least, no. We can't.
there's lots of entrepreneurs that get stuck in their way. And I'll explain what I mean, which is that like, they have an idea, they have conviction on an idea, and they will burn to the ground with that idea. Like a captain sinks with a ship kind of thing, right?
Definitely.
As somebody who's experienced, disruption with COVID and lots of pivoting and starting lots of different businesses and that sort of thing, when do you know, like, how do you know, because you've done this a lot, how do you know that it's time to close this book and open a new one?
That's a good question. Yeah, it was for me that the learning that I had when COVID, like Decibel 110, 110 was my baby, no? So definitely like we were really attached to that. We were like seeing around like, oh, everybody's burning and we're gonna burn, like and the ship is gonna burn. So definitely we just had to like make the decisions. I think we have to detach around this. So that's like my best advice to do it. Like if you are keeping going on your business and you don't have results, you don't like it, or any type of related thing of the results that you don't have, just stop that and keep on going. Like take another way, and that's it. I have all my life doing that. And the important thing is the timing, like the momentum. If you don't do it right, probably you're gonna sink with the ship. Mm-hmm. So probably everybody needs to be synced, so we can learn how to live on. But yeah, definitely, it's the momentum, I think.
Yeah,
to know
the momentum and timing. Yeah.
The perfect timing.
Yeah. Awesome. What does success look like for you?
I think I'm already successful, not because of the businesses, because of my family. I think the most important thing, whatever I do of my companies, is my family. Like my little kid that has 1 year, and my wife. I think that's like the most successful thing I have achieved, and that for me is successful right now. And if I'm successful in the capital or monetary way around my entrepreneurial journey, well, I think helping more people around the solution that I'm building, that I'm doing right now. But yeah, that's definitely like, I think we need to divide like know that the professional side and the real side, I will say.
Yeah.
The real side is that you are healthy, that you are mentally, physically, and that you have family, that you can help people around you, friends and all that. For me, that's successful. The other thing that we're doing is just like a plus one. That's it.
Love it. The foundation is the family and the health.
Yeah, we have to be very careful on that, because if we go the other way, you're gonna sacrifice like the really important stuff that we have. And I have been through that. Yeah, definitely. Like probably I stay up late nights and all that, and I miss like going with dinner with my family or whatever, friends and all that. And I see like, is it really important? Is it really necessary? Will I make the change? No, definitely not. So I will just keep on working on the morning, and that's it. Yeah, we have to be very careful on that. Definitely.
This is a cliche question, but I'm very curious because you've experienced so much and done so much. If you were to speak to a younger version of yourself, maybe in 2017 when you, 2017 when you started your first business, from all of the wealth of knowledge that you've accumulated since that point, what's the single piece of advice that you give to yourself back then?
Probably the single advice I will have is to, whatever happens, the circumstances happen, just like keep your eye on the same focus that you have. That's it. Yeah, definitely. Like you just like, you're gonna have like many distractions, you have many obstacles, probably you will see like really dark, and probably you just like need to keep on going on that same direction. That I think that's the only way to go around the bigger stuff, the darker stuff that we all have to go through. Everybody. Like everybody has to go on the dark. Everybody needs to be sunk, or I think. So if you have like, I have a good phrase like that a friend told me, that it's, if you know that you are good at playing this game. And if you know that you're really confident that you're going to win, why are you afraid of whatever happens or whatever is going to happen? So that gives you like a really good security around the confidence that you're having. Imagine yourself like playing the Monopoly. And I have seen with my friends, I know I'm going to win. And I'm really confident on that. I'm not telling everybody because I'm going to be cocky around that. But if I know I'm going to win, and if I lose, I'm going to try it again. And on the end, I'm going to win, definitely. So that brings you confidence. And if you set like this goal straight, whatever happens around that, yeah, definitely you're good to go.
It's like the concept of entrepreneur's delusion, right? It's like there's a certain element of I'm crazy enough to keep in a good way believe that it's possible. And
definitely.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And people probably on the dark side will, like friends, good friends, family will tell you like, hey, this is not the way. Like you're really bad on that, or probably they will like give you heads up on things that don't matter at all, but you just have to like silence yourself, like locked in and go on straight on the idea of that. And of course, like what matters for me right now, like for example, talking about the family, I think that's one of the best decisions I have ever made. My companion, my wife. If I don't have like a good companion, probably she will seek me. Like probably I will have like my best focus on my vision and all that. But if she's telling like you're not good at this, blah blah blah, well, that's a big mistake. So probably like talking about the successful part, like even the important thing is that will the level up to the professional side. If you don't have this is important stuff, you're not going to be successful. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, good.
Definitely.
I think that narrative has shifted a lot in like hustle culture and that sort of thing recently, that like, people are more focused on ensuring that you do have those relationships, you upkeep them. Family is important, health really is important, where we might have lost that for a while.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it's the most important thing, where your values are raised on, or definitely like where when you are old and gray, definitely what matters, your big company, $1 million company, or your family, the wife that keeps on talking with you, your kids and all that, or the moments that you build up with your family, that's been successful. The other, it's just like a good, really good, you did really good, but you really did good on this side first. And yeah, definitely. And friends also, like definitely the people that surround you need to be really important, because there are friends that probably they envy you or whatever. Then you have to have a good ecosystem probably around you, that everything is fluent, everything is really all the pieces go on their exact way. And well, that's the journey of life. Many years. We're still way years to work on.
Plenty. There's no shortage of time.
No.
Well,
for now,
I mean, there might be, but
yeah, no. I hope not. When I'm 30, so I hope I die when I'm 90 or so with my family. Mm-hmm. Or yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, you never know. But the point is that if you're living every day to the fullest and you feel fulfilled and you're doing good in your business, doing good in your personal life and your wealth. And
yeah, that's the most important.
Wealth and health.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where can we send people to follow along what you're doing with the Startup Studio? Yeah,
on LinkedIn, I have my own website, which we are fixing right now, but it's good to go, I think. It's ivandelagarza.mx, or my LinkedIn, that it's linkedin.com/in, I think, and Ivan de la Garza MX. MX, sorry, at the end. And I'm happy to help or whatever. Even they can help me, advise me. I'm looking a positive ecosystem around me, and really, really good to connect with the guys.
Build relationships, build community, right?
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. That's it.
Well, thank you so much, man. This has been an awesome conversation. I appreciate you coming up here, and I'm excited to follow along.
Oh, thanks for the invite and your time. Thank you.